you start a successful morning ritual, a new habit, it might be torture at first, but I'm telling you, it passes and the results go on forever. Hey, I'm Terry Savelle Foy, your cheerleader of dreams. I want to talk to you today about how I tried successful people's routines and how it absolutely changed my whole life. And before I go any further, I have to say a huge thank you to all of our ministry partners. I am so grateful for you. Okay, we all know that successful people are simply those with successful habits. Jennifer Aniston meditates every day. Steve Harvey writes in his gratitude journal each morning. Richard Branson swims laps around his island each sunrise. Albert Einstein often took naps. Kind of like that one. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wakes up at 4 a.m. for an intense workout. Well, first of all, I don't have an island to swim around, but there are so many routines and rituals of the most successful people in the world. Which one do you start? And how do you get past the discomfort of starting a habit that you're not used to? Well, first, let me tell you this little story I heard about the famous painter, French painter, Pierre-Auguste Renoir. This was in his old age. The story said that he suffered from arthritis, which twisted and cramped his hands so bad. In fact, Henri Matisse, his artist friend, would sadly watch Renoir grasp a brush with only his fingertips. And he would just continue to paint, even though they said each stroke of the brush caused stabbing pain. Well, one day Matisse asked Renoir why he persisted in painting when it brought so much torture. Renoir said, "The pain passes, but the beauty remains." Okay, I shared this story with you not to compare the pain of starting a routine with Renoir's pain in his hands, but to say that once you start a successful morning ritual, a new habit, it might be torture at first, but I'm telling you, it passes and the results go on forever. Now, I do believe that success, or the lack of it, is due to your daily routines. You've probably heard me share many times how unsuccessful my life was for years. No money stocked up in a savings account, no goals to pursue, living paycheck to paycheck, accumulating debt on cars and credit cards, not advancing in my career, and every year was just a repeat of the year before. Until I tried successful people's routines. My entire life changed. So I want to share some of the greatest habits I added to my morning routine. Oh, and your free download this week is my 5 a.m. morning habits. This is my personal morning routine where I walk you through all 5 of my daily rituals that I never skip. And I show you the time sequence of how I get it all done before 8 a.m., before I walk out the door. But seriously, when anyone asks me how my life changed so drastically, I always say my routine. If you'll change your routine, you can change your whole life. So just click the link in the description down below to get this free download of my 5 a.m. morning habits. Okay, the first habit that successful people recommend is, you ready for this? Wake up earlier. The most successful people in the world have something in common. They conquer the covers. Successful people cherish the morning hours to just get up and invest in themselves, while the rest of the world just keeps pushing the snooze button. But here's the thing, just even setting your alarm 30 minutes earlier than normal to get up and get a jump start on your day would make a huge difference. What happens is you feel so in control of your day, you feel productive, and you just feel ready to conquer the day. Instead of feeling scattered, in a hurry, rushing out the door, hoping you haven't forgotten anything, no, you've been up for a while. You've taken the time to look over your schedule for the day. You've spent time with God. You've exercised. Your mind is calm and you're just prepared for the day ahead. You've probably heard the quote, you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, this is how you fill your cup. You wake up earlier than normal and you invest in yourself so you can pour out to others. You know, I found out that just waking up 1 hour earlier each day would give you an extra 15 days each year. What could you accomplish with an extra 2 weeks added to your life? Just get up earlier. Well, now that we understand that successful people wake up earlier than most people, what are they doing after they beat the sun up? Well, habit number 2 is simply they read. which happens to be something I loathed. I mean, literally, I'm not kidding. I hated reading, and I only did it if it was an assignment in school. So after college graduation, I never read another book until 11 years later when I tried Successful People's Routines. Well, I recently read where if you're like most people in the world today, then you have read fewer than 5 books cover to cover in your lifetime. According to one major publisher, they said 95% of all books that are purchased are never completely read. And then 70% of books that are purchased are never even opened. Can you believe this? Well, that was me, except I really didn't even buy books back then. But did you know that someone else has already provided a blueprint for you to follow for whatever you're going through right now? A book is literally the advice, the experience, the wisdom of someone practically sitting down with you and just sharing everything they know. Basically, you get to choose your mentors who will have the greatest impact on who you become. Isn't that amazing? So think about it. If you want to live a healthier life, you can learn directly from health and wellness expert Dr. Don Colbert. Over 40 books from over 40 years of medical practice, you have access to his wisdom in a book. Maybe you want better relationships with your spouse or children. Gary Smalley has poured decades of research and practical insights into his books that have helped millions of couples and parents. Maybe you're determined to get your finances in order, to get out of debt, to build wealth. There's a book for that. Dave Ramsey has a step-by-step formula in his best-selling book, The Total Money Makeover. I mean, you can learn to be a better leader with John Maxwell. You could decorate your house with Chip and Joanna Gaines. You could live your dreams with Terry Savelle Foy. See, whatever you're searching for, whether it's learning how to invest money, how to lose weight, how to get through pregnancy, or cook better meals, everything is already in a book. So I started doing what successful people do. They read. So I started waking up earlier and reading for 20 minutes. Well, 20 minutes over the course of a month is 10 hours of wisdom, 10 hours of solutions, 10 hours of life-changing advice to just put me on a path to success. And that's exactly what it did. I got my debts paid off, my credit cards, my car, my swimming pool. I started saving money. I learned how to set up an investment account. I didn't have a clue how to do that until I read a book. I got in shape. I started an organization. I've written 14 books. I mean, everything in my life improved when my mindset improved. And my mindset improved by reading books just a little bit every morning. So whichever area you want to improve the most, find a book. Invest in yourself and in your future. Find mentors inside the pages of their books. And before I shared the third habit, I wanted to ask you for a favor before I go on. Would you take a moment and help me reach a big goal of 300,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel? Take a look at where we are right now. That is a huge goal that I've had for a while, and I know we're getting close. So would you help me out? Just take a quick second, push that subscribe button, and I'm telling you that means so much to me and my team here. And we want you to know how much we genuinely appreciate you believing in us. And just to know that this content is helping you means so much to me. So thank you for doing that. Okay, the third habit, which was completely unfamiliar to me years ago, was this. Well, let me explain it like this. Dan Sullivan said, the only way to make your present better is by making your future bigger. Let me repeat that. The only way to make your present better is by making your future bigger. See, successful people seriously use their imagination and they dream of a bigger future. Well, after I began developing these habits of getting up earlier and reading, I finally added this vital key to changing my entire life. I finally gave myself or my heart permission to just dream as big as I could. In the privacy of my little bedroom with nobody around but God and me in the early hours, with no knowledge of just how powerful the God-given imagination is. I sat down quietly with a journal and a pen and just began to visualize my ideal future life. Now, Brian Tracy calls this practice back from the future thinking. Now, he recommends that you project your life 5 years into the future and just imagine that it's perfect in every way. What does it look like? What is the year? How old are you? If you're married, how long have you been married? If you have children, add 5 years to their age. What's your salary? How much money have you saved? Where have you traveled? What's your ideal life in every respect 5 years from today? So on August 16th of 2006, I sat there in silence and just let my imagination run wild as if it were August of 2011, 5 years into the future. And what had I accomplished if I truly believed that anything was possible with God? Well, I listed 5 enormous dreams. One was to minister on TV. Second was to write a book. Third was to host a women's conference. Fourth was to start an outreach to young women rescued from human trafficking. And number 5 was to start a mission in France. Well, each of these crazy dreams were so outside the realm of possibility. But for some reason, once I took the time to get them out of my head and onto paper, my potential began to rise. Do you know within 5 years' time, every single impossible dream was a reality in my life? By August of 2011, 5 years later, I was co-hosting a TV show with my dad, Jerry Savelle. I had already written 2 books and seen them on the shelves in my local bookstore. I had launched a women's conference called Icing in 2010, which has now grown to thousands of women. I started an outreach to girls' homes, safe houses, and shelters for young women, giving them my books and resources to help them get a vision for their lives. And I had begun ministering in the nation of France in 2008. I got a French publisher who now prints all my books in French. Here's the kicker. Not one single dream that I just shared with you, not one single dream took 5 years to accomplish. You know what? I tried successful people's routines and I understand why they're so successful. They say do what successful people do and you'll have what successful people have. So let me ask you, can you wake up just, 30 minutes earlier? Can you read for 20 minutes? Can you give your heart permission to just dream as big as you possibly can? Yes, you can. And I want to get my free download. I want you to get my free download this week because it's my 5 a.m. morning routine, my personal habits here to get you started. Just click the link in the description and get it right now because you can do this. You have it in you to do this. And I want to mention this real quick. If you're interested in being a partner with our ministry, it's simple to do that. Just click the link down below and my team and I would be honored to have you join us as partners in ministry. So I just want to challenge you today to just change a few little habits in your life. And I'm telling you, you can do this. And don't forget, I am cheering you on to live your dreams.